Wherever you are on the Big Sluice, you are guaranteed to have problems. There's no time to relax and no time to rest, because this trail will bite. Many a Jeeper has discovered the hard way that no place is safe and any little rock can turn your Jeep on its side. That's why rock rollers have become such an essential part of the Jeepers Jamboree events. Laboring all day in the July heat of these mountains, the rock rollers devote themselves to the very physical job of guiding vehicles through the roughest parts of the trail. This team of men, in their trademark jumpsuits, have been selected for their knowledge of four-wheeling and their experience on the Rubicon Trail. Altogether, a team of 33 rock rollers, distributed throughout the trail, serve as a main artery for the trip as they help keep traffic moving towards the campground at Rubicon Springs. The Toyota Cruncher is another spot along the Big Sluice that has earned its own name. The name, derived by Jeepers, describes the rock's quick ability to give longer vehicles body rash. For this reason, most people take the simpler route around the Cruncher. No matter the route you choose, the Big Sluice is undoubtedly difficult. There are spots with names and spots without, but any of them can spoil your day. Named because of the resemblance it has to a tool the old 49er gold miners used to use, the Big Sluice has large straight sides and a narrow bumpy valley. This creates problems for Jeepers of all talents, for there isn't much room for mistake, and mistakes come at a high price. Through the years, the bridge over the Rubicon River has served as a transition from the rugged Big Sluice to the lazy road into the Rubicon Springs campground. Originally built out of logs in the 1860s, the bridge was rebuilt out of steel in 1947 and refurbished twice since. From the bridge, it's a short, easy drive to camp, with one exception, the mud hole. A manageable bypass runs parallel to this obstacle, but for those who dare it, a slippery ride is certain. Finally, at the end of a long day, tired and hungry Jeepers roll into the historical Rubicon Springs campground. Originally, the campground was the site of the abandoned Rubicon Springs Resort and Hotel. But through the years of pre-trip work parties, this lonely meadow has transformed into a one-of-a-kind campground, complete with a full kitchen facility, a saloon, and the famous dance floor. Since the early days, the idea of the Jamboree has always included much more than the challenging drive found on the Rubicon Trail. At the core of the Jeepers Jamboree experience is a celebration of the great outdoors and of the camaraderie found within the Jeepers culture. The time spent in camp is what really makes this trip special.
What really brings me back every year is the love of the people. I meet people from all over the world. It gives me a chance to talk to them once a year, and I love talking to them.
You have the common interest of the love of the outdoors and the four-wheeling, and so it's a natural. You've got something obviously to talk about.
Jeepers Jamboree it's a big Jeep family is what it is.
In addition to catching up with old friends, Jeepers have used the time in camp to relax and enjoy the environment of El Dorado National Park. The isolated wilderness surrounding the Rubicon Trail offers many opportunities to relish in the outdoors, but by far the most popular place to spend time in camp is in one of the many natural pools found in the area. Another favorite activity for Jeepers to delight in while at Rubicon Springs is feasting on the famous Jamboree food prepared by the notorious kitchen crew. And it's no surprise that one of the biggest challenges for the Jeepers Jamboree is feeding the masses.
So I think we're going to serve upwards of 17,000 meals this weekend. So if you got 17,000 meals, that means 17,000 plates, 17,000 forks, knives, spoons, cups, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's big numbers. It's amazing.
During the 4-day Jamboree, the cook crew is the hardest working group in camp.
For most people, it starts about 5:30 and ends about 11, 12.
They have a lot of prep work to do. Then they serve breakfast. When they get done with breakfast, they're starting lunch. When they get done with lunch, they start dinner. And you know, you set your times, say you're going to serve from 5:30 to 8:30, but if you have 150 people on the trail that don't get here until midnight, they serve until midnight. So they're a real dedicated group.
Put the lights out last night and saw them come on this morning. Same thing today. We do that just about every day.
This year, the cook crew is challenged to feed over 2,000 people 3 hearty meals a day. Under any circumstances, feeding this kind of crowd is no easy task. But feeding this kind of crowd in the middle of the wilderness on one of the toughest trails in America is another story altogether.